Okay, now on the subject of the New World Order, basically, what on earth am I talking about here? Well, the world is in such a state at the moment. What with the economy being the way it is, what with the fact we have reached peak oil, that might be a part of the whole equation as well. And on top of that, there's problems with Europe and various unpleasant ideas are slowly creeping back into society. I don't think that you need to have one particular scapegoat for all of the problems. I think we can just see that the world is in a trying situation, but the conspiracy theorists are still trying their hardest to make out that there is one particular, responsible group. I don't think there's enough evidence to say that there is some kind of shadowy cabal in the distance who is pulling all of the strings of the whole of society. It's not like some kind of gangster organization or the Bilderbergers or the Zionists or whatever, because there's no, unity between all the various different groups who appear to have some kind of influence in the world. The bottom line is that there are rich and powerful people in the world, and these are people who have wealth and power. They don't necessarily agree with each other because they're all after more and more individual power. Now, the fact that they're all fighting each other is actually quite a good thing, because that means that it's marginally less likely that any particular one group is going to actually win over all of the rest of them, apart from just like more and more wealth and power to the wealthy and powerful, and probably just a little less for the rest of us. So yeah, there is a bit of a duality between like this hypothetical 99% group and of course this hypothetical 1% group. But okay, that's as far as it goes. There is no, Illuminati people with like robes and hoods and all the rest of that going around chanting to their owl god or whatever on earth it is that the people are saying, or the black sulphurous sun of whatever. Just that, yeah, it's not happening. It's not real. There's no one actually sacrificing babies to like some devil character, and no, there's no sort of like evil Freemasonry level in which everyone is like sacrificing this or doing something satanic, and essentially, in any context, precisely what is meant by satanic in the first place is like a little hazy and weird. So the people who do talk about the New World Order conspiracy theory in terms of a lot of the ideas that that they themselves believe in, it's just not being corroborated by reality. But there's no need to even think about that whatsoever. So what particular stance can I possibly take as far as this like New World Order conspiracy theory point of view is? Well, we're in a difficult situation. All right, it's going to seem to a lot of people that the Western powers are trying to get stronger, or the Eastern powers are trying to get stronger, and therefore there's two New World Orders who are fighting each other. Well, if that's the case, there never was a single New World Order in the first place. So, it's all defeating the whole object. And as far as like global fascism and global tyranny is concerned, that's out the water. There isn't any of that. There is restrictions upon us, but those restrictions are brought about because of the economy, because of peak oil, the fact that we didn't all, and I mean all of us, steadily convert to using more in the way of renewable energy long before this peak oil time came. So we should have been doing this like in the 70s and in the 80s, and building up more and more momentum until this time has come. But the North Sea in the UK, that's now that reached its peak. When was it? 1999. So essentially that the quantity of energy that can produce for the UK and to be exported has been greatly reduced. We're now on something like half of what things were in 1999, so we have to now import gas and electricity and all that kind of stuff, and oil from Russia and other European nations, which puts up the price, and of course that puts us into a vulnerable situation because we need to spend to be, we need to probably spend more money to provide profits down the whole supply chain to enable us to be able to survive. So this is one of the reasons why gas and oil and all the rest of that is just going up in price. Okay, we've had a short fall recently because it's been a mild winter so far, although that's due to change. But again, no evidence of a singular cabal which is controlling the world. Okay, yeah, we do have problems with food, but on the other hand, we've also got, well, what is it now, 7 billion people on the face of the planet, which is really rather a lot. Everyone's got to be fed. Alright, so there's we as a species are going to have to find lots of different ways of making food, preparing it for everybody. So some of it won't necessarily be top quality healthy gear, so we also have to accept that, but at least the people are getting fed. And if there is a problem further on down the line with health, then essentially we've got to address that further on down the line. Like these days I'm quite aware that maybe my gluten problem has been brought about because of genetically modified wheat. I'm not worried about this, you know, because it's not a problem that's going to kill me, because once you've highlighted it, you can then do something to avoid the issue. And I now make some really good, you know, pancakes and breads for myself out of non-gluten containing stuff, thus saving my health of body and mind, and it does me an awful lot of good. So I'm not too worried about that. I don't think that there is some kind of plan to kill me. Okay? Especially in a world in which everyone is living longer. You know, you can't really say that there's a depopulation plan in place. We're in a world in which everyone is living longer. Okay, it just doesn't seem to fit, if you get my drift. So, it's going to seem difficult, and I think that people are going to jump to conclusions much more about the way that the world works, the way that things are put together. There will be more outlandish ideas out there, especially as we're approaching the end of 2012. But it's going to be different outlandish ideas which are going to be out there in the outer world, which is going to make life difficult, rather than just those that are, you know, oh my God, like the Bilderbergs are trying to take over the world, or the Jews are trying to take over the world, or whatever it is this week, you know. So let's not worry that, you know, there is a new world order, because, you know, there isn't. There is a new world which is emerging. That much I think we can say, and this new world is going to be characterized by a lot less in the way of available energy. It's going to be characterized by an awful lot less in the way of, I would say, available resources, including space. Space is going to be a resource that we've all got to try and find a way of dealing with. Okay. And there will be some very different, very interesting, very new politics as we move further forward into the future. And I think that we all need to do something to, I would say, help the rest of the world. You know, help the rest of the world to develop in a way which is going to be good and healthy for the rest of the world. Okay. And on the internet, this environment that we're all in, that we all love, you know, being on the internet, watching YouTube videos and blogs and tweets and blog talk radios and all the rest of that. This is when a lot of the stranger, more dangerous ideas could become fermented. Alright, because an environment can be created in terms of views and values, alright, that can become embedded in people's minds. It becomes part of the way in which people consider that things are real, okay, and then that then becomes food for discussion within a group, that then becomes groupthink, and then that can turn into action. And there's all kinds of weird actions that can emerge. So trying to gently attack these ideas can be a good thing. Something a little more dramatic might even be needed later on down the line. We don't know, because history is still growing and developing. I still maintain that there is no singular cabal. Alright, there is no new world order. There is a new world which is emerging. Alright, but it's more of a new world disorder, as there's lots more in the way of decentralized power these days, which is causing more problems and greater quantity of insecurity for a lot of people. Because when there are more and more ideas out there in the world, more and more different forms of freedoms of speech, okay, because freedom of speech is a good thing, but it also allows all kinds of strange ideas to be presented to the world, and people start latching onto them, that can make a lot of people more afraid. And when there's more fear going on, then things can get a little more difficult for a lot of people. So this is just something we've got to be aware of. So this is just some of my rambles on the subject of the New World Order today. Look after yourself. Good fortune, God and or Goddess and or none of the above bless. Speak to you again soon.